oasis that awaits us. Feel excellence, observe greatness, believe there's still an oasis that awaits us. Feel excellence, observe greatness, believe there's still an oasis that awaits us. Feel excellence, observe greatness, believe there's still an oasis that awaits us. Feel excellence, observe greatness, believe there's still an oasis that awaits us. Feel excellence, observe greatness, believe there's still an oasis that awaits us. Feel excellence, observe greatness, believe there's still an oasis that awaits us. Feel excellence, observe greatness, believe there's still an oasis that awaits us. I've never had someone on the live. Big up everyone who's joining. Currently outside in my garden. What I'm going to do to start off, just because I've got this request and I've not had one, I'm going to take advantage of it. And wait, it's disappeared. Oh, that's a shame. Whoever just did the request, if you want to come back on and request again, by all means, please do. Wouldn't mind having a chat if someone wanted to. Feel excellence, observe greatness. Yeah, man, outside in the garden, I thought it was necessary. I've been outside for most of today, so I thought I'd carry on. Just carry on what I've been doing, really, innit? Feel excellence, observe greatness. Believe there's still an oasis that awaits us. Feel excellence, observe greatness. Believe there's still an oasis that awaits us. Feel excellence, observe greatness, and believe there's still an oasis that awaits us. Big up Matt J in the comments. Big up everyone who's here, Ariana, Matt J. Today I'm not going to have any connection issues, I know that. Shout out Emily, Ariana, Swaggy, I see ya, Mike, Bob, Shauna, Leah, hi, Shauna, Jaden, Alejandra, Famida, we're all here. Lovely jubbly. So today, I hope you lot can all hear me properly as well, by the way. But today we're going to be talking about energy, and I'll be real. Today I thought I'd take a more intense look at what energy is, what it really means when it comes to physical and also metaphysical or spiritual energy. And there's a lot of information. So what I'm going to do now, this first bit, literally I just want us to be comfortable, just like I am outside. You can lay on your back, sit cross-legged like me, have them out straight, whatever it is that makes you comfortable. And we're just going to do some free-form poetry. Whenever you hear me pause, all I need you to do is take 3 deep breaths that will be in through your nose. Deep breaths that will be in through your nose and out through your mouth. If you can hear me right as well, can you just give me a little thumbs up just so I know that you lot can all hear me properly. But yeah, this will just be some free-form poetry for about 5 minutes. Nice one, guys, thank you. For about 5 minutes. And from there, we'll talk about energy. And then obviously towards the end, for the last 5-10 minutes or whatever, we'll also do a bit more poetry and meditation. And hopefully, we'll have a bit of a discussion. But for now, please be comfortable. Please get in your Zen space. Please just block out anything else that's around you. Please ensure any TV's turned off. There's no external factors. I'm just here in my garden. So let's do this, man. Observe greatness. Believe there's still an oasis that awaits us. Feel excellence, observe greatness. Believe there's still an oasis that awaits us. So feel excellence, observe greatness, and believe there's still an oasis that awaits us. Because that doesn't mean that it's always going to be paradise. But I stand and fight for all the things that I have to grow just like a stalagmite. But I have to really show that I have to grab something tight. That's why I've always been precise when I write, free flowing, just free energy. This is how I'm feeling when I feel so free. Cause I'm just me where the birds and the bees, yeah. Sitting in my garden in front of all of the trees. I got people around me, but right now it's empty. But I don't feel so lonely, I'm cozy. This is me when I have to chill with no homies. Know me, yeah, I always try and keep low key, but hey, now I'm in a space where you gotta just breathe. Space where we gotta just breathe, take it in, then you gotta just release. You can all do it with some ease, believe. This is how we all get free. Shout out to all the people on my Insta feed, Ariana, Swaggy, and everybody waving. Yeah, I've got to spend some days in, I'm craving some form of real actuality. Actualization is something I've been contemplating for a while, but I know it's my destination. Hey, because life's like a journey. No one here is out here trying to verse me, but firstly, gotta move on like the top of the keyboard, that's QWERTY. Yeah, I gotta move on, 30. But for now, let's just breathe. In through your nose and then out through your mouth. Do it 3 times, yeah, you know what we're about. This is Spoke, SPOKE. I hope you're woke to the fact that we feel so free, yeah. Giving all this energy, it's like therapy. I hope I can communicate with you telepathy, yeah. With my mindset, that's what I do in hindsight. When I look back and think about all the times that I had to get up and work. And nowadays I feel that I put myself first, cause that's the best form of practice, and that's why I gotta show that I'm ready here. No acting. This is why I stick with all the things that I've done since the days where I was adolescent, and I got a blessing for these people that are testing. Yeah, I got a message. It's just breathe. Just breathe. Feel excellence, observe greatness, believe there's still an oasis that awaits us. Feel excellence, observe greatness, believe there's still an oasis that awaits us. Feel excellence, observe greatness, believe there's still an oasis that awaits us. Feel excellence, observe greatness, believe there's still an oasis that awaits us. Yeah, last 3 deep breaths. Alright guys, let me come a bit closer to this so we can really engage with each other in it. Wave, Ariana, Swaggy, Alejandra, Dre, Draj, Baba, Andrea, Sarah, I think that is. 6 Boy Nash, big up yourself, Master 86MA. Good to see all you guys on the live if you're still here with me. As I said, today we're going to be talking about energy, and yeah, looking into energy is kind of crazy because there are so many different facets of it. So I was making notes about all of this stuff, because there is so much to do and so much around energy. So I'll give you a quick thing about what I feel, and I feel that, and even looking into some of the stuff that I was researching, I know that this is verified to some people, that energy is the single thing that connects us to something spiritual, to something beyond just the physical that we see. It is the thing that makes sure that every single natural element can bounce off of each other. And even in science, energy is a conserved quantity, that's what they call it. And a conserved quantity means that it can neither be created nor destroyed. It can only change its form. And the forms in science, the main ones are potential, kinetic, thermal, chemical, nuclear. Those are the main ones that we see in the world. And the crazy thing about energy is that even when it changes its form, the same rate of energy is always there. So imagine yourself in stillness, and every time we meditate, that's us using our potential energy, because it's there. It's still in essence, it's still in motion. There's a quote that I want to share with you guys, actually. I wrote it down. Here we go. This is by English biologist T.H. Huxley. Sit down before fact like a little child, and be prepared to give up every preconceived notion. Follow humbly wherever and to whatever abyss nature leads, or you shall learn nothing. You shall learn nothing. It's essentially saying go with the flow. Go with the flow is one essence of energy, because energy means that everything is always in motion. Everything is always in motion. This world that we're living on right now, it feels static, but if you find enough time to have that stillness, you can actually feel motion in the ground. And sometimes it's not, the earth shaking or the tectonic plates moving underneath you. It can literally be the ecosystem of this garden. I'll feel it if I sit here for long enough, whether it's an ant that crawls over my hand or the wind that goes through the grass, and make sure that I can feel that in ourselves. The reason why I love practicing meditation and stillness whenever I can is simply because even in your stillness there's motion. Your body's always adapting and changing. Your body's always growing and learning something. There's always information that's being given to it, whether it's if I'm sitting outside, how much sunlight I'm getting, how many UV rays. That's thermal energy right there. As I said, if I'm sitting still, stillness. If you use your brain cells, that is motion happening within you. The fact that every 7 to 10 years, every single one of our cells and molecular structure changes means that every 7 to 10 years we're effectively, physically, a new person. And I guess that's why a lot of things happen in decades. Or on a personal level, you might see a lot of differences happen in a decade, but you also see a lot of things reoccurring, whether it's boy bands that want to go back on tour, whether it's meeting up with friends that you haven't seen for 10 years, 10-year reunions of stuff. Like, these are because we've gone through a whole motion, a whole phase of being a certain person. And at that point, our energy is shifted to say, all right, cool, this is where we are now. Now it's all about making a decision. Because despite the fact that, change is inevitable, adaptation is inevitable, evolution in yourself and around the world is inevitable, you also have decisions. So you can decide how that change is going to affect you. You can decide how you're then going to transfer your energy into different sources. The one thing about energy is that it always has to be protected, and it should. It's not always, because I feel like as humans we're born into ignorance and we're born with energy and we don't even know what direction we want to put it in most of the time. I'm very susceptible to that. But once we have an idea, the best thing is to move with authentic intention for every action that we have, as much authentic intention as possible of our energy. And if we can channel our energy authentically and intentionally in certain directions, it doesn't mean we'll always be right, because we're people, we make mistakes, but it does mean that you'll always get the truth. Right and wrong is not the thing. In Toaism, they call spiritual energy your QI. And there are two forms of your QI. There is your energy being stored and your energy being released. Your energy being stormed can be one thing, which is literally just protecting your energy, harnessing it, practicing meditation and stillness, ensuring that you are bringing in information. And information is so many different things, from literal information of words, wisdom, to sunlight, to rain, to your food, to how much exercise you're doing, to a person that you may engage with intimately. All of this kind of stuff, that's information and stuff that your body or your spiritual energy will store. Then the other sense is spiritual release. If something is released, that means it's coming out of you. Your energy doesn't disappear, because as I said at the beginning, the energy doesn't die, it just transfers itself into something else. So in doing so, actually no, I should tell you what those are. So the two things in Taoism is literally yin and yang, and you always have one and the other working in tandem with each other. It's not a fact of somebody is yin and somebody is yang. It's that somebody's yin and yang, somebody's masculine and feminine, somebody's good and bad, somebody's right or wrong, somebody's truth and lies are always within them. And it's how much we decide to rely on each of those things as individuals. And then also the principle of resonance compatibility and resonance vibrations. Because as human beings, again, we are vibrations. Every time your cells move inside of you, every time your skin cells die or replicate themselves, there is movement happening. Every time I'm talking, my hands are moving, my hair grows without me knowing it happens. These are all things that are happening in terms of motion, movement, and vibrations, because we're all built up physically of atoms. What was my point even going to that little digression? Sorry. Yeah, essentially, that as people that we have yin yang inside us, we have all of these things that balance us to keep us whole. It's about how do we channel the right things or the true things. That's what we're really going for. How much truth can we live? How much authenticity can we live? And one way to look at it is actually like, if we look at the world, as in planet Earth, I think it's something like 80% of the world is still using non-renewable energy. And it's not to say that non-renewable sources are terrible things, because they've obviously provided whatever they have for us in this world. However, we still don't use the sun enough, we don't use water enough, we don't use the wind enough, we don't use natural or renewable sources enough. These are all forms of energy as well. Energy that are all physical and that we can see. So one of the main things is about how we shift as a society and as individuals, how we have that paradigm shift that changes the way we look at things and changes the way that we use our resources, changes our sources, in fact. So we do look more towards stuff like renewable energy. And if you do that on an individual basis, whereby you look at food, for instance. I'm not like I'm not a vegan or anything. However, I can see the benefits of being so, simply because even the meat that I do eat, I am absorbing something else's energy, whether it's the animal's grief or the animal's pain or the animal's blood, etc. There are certain benefits, whether it's protein or whether it's iron and blood, etc., etc. However, it's good if you as a human being can individually look at everything you take in, from music, from art, from food, from TV, from the news. All of these things create an impression on yourself, whether it's mentally, whether it's physically, whether it's spiritually. And with our energy, the best thing to do, as I said, is just move with real authenticity, and just try and build on those true factors. That's why stuff like fake news and mass misinformation is as damaging as they say it is, simply because if that's what you intake, then it's going to be very difficult to move forward with real authentic intentions. You will just go by the misinformation that you have, and you probably will find that it doesn't align with you as a person, because it just doesn't fit into the narrative of what you are trying to do or trying to fulfill. Let me have a quick look at anything else that I wrote, just because I was getting really into it when I was looking at this. So all forms of energy are associated with motion. Amount of energy before a change equals the same amount of energy after a change. Friction. Let's talk about friction then, because friction is the restriction of movement, and as I said, energy is motion. So if there is a restriction in movement, it's going to halt any progress that you have. Friction is not always a bad thing, because as I said, energy can't die, it can just get translated into something else. So if we look at when we rub our hands, the friction changes our potential energy into thermal energy, because now there's heat in between my hands. If we look at that from a spiritual point, from a point of ourselves on an individual basis, when it comes to friction happens at work, friction happens in relationships, friction happens at home, friction happens typically between you and yourself as well. Like, there's a lot of times that I experience my own friction where I have something I allow to hold me back, and it might be the fact that I woke up later than I was hoping to, or the night before I'd eaten something that I shouldn't have, so I feel bloated and I can't be bothered to do exercise. Being aware of these things that stop your motion and stop, or at least reduce your amount of energy that you have, is really important to me. I think it's very important. I think it's integral to just being able to move beyond it, because if we're stuck in a place of friction, we're stuck in a place where our energy doesn't get to be kinetic, it doesn't get to have actual motion, it doesn't actually get to be of any benefit or value or contribute to like the wider world or our wider world. It's very detrimental. Even in terms of energy and sharing as well, a key thing is to really have that resonance that I spoke about before. Like, the resonance in vibrations should be as natural and authentic as possible. Finding those people, finding those things, whether it's career, people, etc., it can be difficult. And I think that one of the most salient examples is music. Like, if you can gravitate to a certain artist, there's a reason. It's not just because one particular song or they've done one Instagram clip that you really liked. Typically you relate with an artist because you understand them, and you don't know artists. Like, we don't know Drake personally, we don't know Rihanna personally, but they have so many millions of people that align with them or feel like there's a resonance, because we all operate at certain frequencies. From what I've seen, I think the general human frequency is between 5 and 10 hertz. But again, one thing I recommend that people check out is by Tam Hunt, sorry, and it's titled "The Hippies Were Right, It's All About Vibrations, Man." And this is all about resonance vibration. So he's a scientist, and he looks at just neuroscience essentially. He studies the brain a lot, but he's also been quite interested in spirituality and also spiritual energy as well, especially consciousness. So the three main brain waves are gamma, theta, and beta. And he does an experiment whereby they try and see if they can measure that alongside consciousness and alongside the vibrations that we have as human beings. I'm not going to tell you any more about that. If you do want to check that out, it's by Tam Hunt. Please do go check that out. Let me see what else I've got here, because I was picking up on a lot of stuff. Okay, I'll give you one more quote, because to be honest, a lot of it is pretty much what I've covered. I'll give you two more quotes. So first quote is by a Catholic priest named Ronald Rollizer. Hopefully I got that name right. But it says, "The opposite of being spiritual is not a person who rejects the idea of God. The opposite of being spiritual is to have no energy, to have lost all zest for living." And there was an interesting thing that I came across earlier as well about the Greek. There's a Greek myth whereby a man was punished by the gods, and he had to roll a boulder up a mountaintop every single day, and every single day it would roll all the way back down. And that was used as an example to show that, like, despite or regardless of all of the effort and the energy that we as human beings put in, we are simply here to keep the universe going. So this is kind of like an alternative viewpoint whereby, no, we need to have this energy. We need to use our energy, because that is exactly what makes us who we are, and that's exactly what keeps us aligned to God or something higher than what we are in ourselves. And no one's right or wrong, or we don't know who's right and wrong, I should say. Like, it's definitely a matter of experience and a matter of perspective. So I'll be interested to see what you guys think, if it is a case of we are just here to connect and ensure that, like, the Toaism, the spiritual energy just continues to go, or if you think that, like, our energy is designed to have purpose, individual purpose, and that can take us to another place, maybe when we're gone or even while we're still here. My own personal beliefs is that our energy is something that, as I said, it doesn't die, so it gets left behind in certain ways. So we're here to create legacies, and creating a legacy can look any kind of way. It could look like your children. People's children are their legacy, people's grandchildren are their legacy. Some people who are special individuals might leave an imprint on the whole world. Other people might make music and it's only heard by people on their road or their neighbors, but it impacts someone's life. Someone might make a new business, such as Spoke.world. Please do make sure you follow Spoke.world if you haven't already as well. Like, there are so many different things that we can do as human beings to be productive, to actually leave a legacy, but most importantly, just to contribute to, like, our fellow man and woman, you know? Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. I can't even read that properly. Draju, I think it is. Sorry if I said it wrong. How long do I have left, in fact? Feel like I'm rambling on. So we've got about 7 minutes left. What will be cool is I will do some more rapping, some spoken word form, some rapping, and then hopefully we'll have a couple of minutes where, like, we can engage a bit more. But again, with this meditation, or whenever I do any form of rap or spoken word, please just be in a comfortable position. It's more enjoyable if you close your eyes, and just allow me to take you away somewhere. And it doesn't have to be anything in particular. It's just the point of being comfortable, really. Let me change this so we hear something else as well. Let me do this. Let's let the beat sizzle, man. Tune is so nice that I have to shout out Riddle fam. Listen, man, this is why I come in with some skills, and I don't care for colours, but I do it for my brothers, hey, yeah. And then I do it for my mother and my dad, and that's why I'm glad that I've all the things I've had, and that's why I run around never feeling sad or glum. But I do this for the people in the slums or living in a real nice vicinity. That's why I have to do this so lyrically, spiritually, yeah, trying to jump out of this with any kind of dignity, man, I'm trying to lift the scene. Every day I'm giving you my energy, this is why I have to just move on with telepathy, yeah. That's why I give you all my energy, yeah, I hope one day that you will all remember me. As I said before, I'm trying to leave a legacy that could be in any kind of format. Man, I can't be left around, be stood on like a doormat. And I'm gonna chill with someone who is cool caps, yeah, because I really gotta shout it out. Spoke.world is the place that you should shout about. Hey, you can see me in the east or south. I use my energy and that's how I get about. Because E equals MC squared. Yeah, you best just beware, hope it's clear. You could be the man of your year, yeah. Everything I do, I try and keep it so sincere, like Nazir. That's why I have to come round here. 4th of July, you might even get a good beer. When they open up the pubs, then you can meet some of your mates. Hey, yeah, you can have a great day. As long as the weather is chilling and it's better, like this is how I feel when I'm flowing like propellers, going round in circular motions. That's why I have to just cruise like I'm floating on the ocean. Whoa, let me just shout out Spoke then. Yeah, Ariana, Ramike, yeah, they're in the house. That's why you know what I'm about. Yeah, I've been around. Every time I'm spitting, man, I feel like I could wear a crown. Giving you this energy. Hey, man, I'm giving you this motion. Hey, man, I'm giving you this energy. And I don't want to see no commotion, but feel excellence, observe greatness, and believe there's still an oasis that awaits us. Feel excellence, observe greatness, and believe there's still an oasis that awaits us. Feel excellence, observe greatness, and believe there's still an oasis that awaits us. Feel excellence, observe greatness, and believe there's still an oasis that awaits us. Because the main entity is God, something that's above and he just does the job. And that's why you gotta try and move on with no prob. And that's why everything I do, I don't stop unless I want to. Yeah, music I will consume in any kind of, in a dark room or feeling like I do it in a space, man. This is how I do it, and I know I run it at my own pace, man. Going back in time like I was watching Space Jam. Yeah, this is how I do it on a, man. Breathing, easy, breathing, believe me, feeling like I'm free flowing. I keep going, that's why I know I could write a whole poem, but nah, I ain't gonna do that, nah. Man. Can't lie, I just feel good. I just feel very comfortable. I'm just rocking. Thank you guys for rocking with me. Yeah, feel excellence, observe greatness, and believe there's still an oasis that awaits us. That's something that I've written down recently. Another thing that I wrote down recently was truth is what is it? Truth is accepting that the truth reveals itself. Can't actually remember. Crazy. But yeah, guys, I'm really sorry. I've just I kind of just got into a little mode in my head. But if anyone's got any comments, if anyone want to share anything about energy, what they believe energy is, how they believe energy gets transferred, where they get their energy from, please just write it in the comments. I'm not just here to just rap in it. I'm here to engage with people. So I do hope that you enjoyed this session. I do hope anything I said makes sense and it doesn't conflict too much with what you believe, or even if it does, it'd be great to have a conversation so then we can see where there's any differences of opinion. But yeah, I really hope you guys have enjoyed today. I really hope that if you do feel like you want to say something, you can. Please definitely follow Spoke, SPOKE.world. Visit the website. They are doing some giveaways very, very soon. So yeah, if you sign up, you might win something. It might be £100, it might be some giveaways, might be anything. So get involved, man, get involved. Follow Spoke, and my name is Lemzy, by the way. It's Lemzi. Love this session, authentic intention. I'm glad you love this session, man. Please take everything I said and yeah, run with it if you want to run with it. There will be different sessions happening. I think tomorrow is Moke at 8 p.m. Thursday, I'm pretty sure, is Aruba Red at 8 p.m. And then Friday, we've got Boy Nash at 5 p.m. as well. So, yeah, thank you guys. Got one more session next week. So I do hope that like everyone who's been at any of the sessions comes through, because I think next week we'll have a really good conversation as well, man. Yeah, thank you for your energy as well in the comments. Honestly, like, I'm just here in my garden, just outside, very, very comfortable. So it's nice to actually like share it with people, you know. Maybe we'll do it live one day as well. But as I said, thank you guys very, very much. Make sure you do follow Spoke.world, yeah? We got all of you guys. Much love, yeah? Much love.